Welcome to the Afterspin, opinions from thought leaders in our state. Peg O'Connell, we've talked before about the proposed merger of UNC Healthcare and Carolina's Healthcare, which is now called Atrium Health. We know the UNC Board of Governors has questions about the merger. Blue Cross is opposing it. Recently, Dale Folwell says he doesn't favor the deal. Where does this process stand, and what's your prediction on what's going to happen?
So as far as where the process stands right now, Dean Roper actually gave a report to a committee of the Board of Governors and some legislators recently saying that what they are talking about right now is who gets to be the boss of this giant healthcare system. Will it be the folks from UNC? Will it be the folks from
Charlotte or Chapel Hill?
Or Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
And they haven't worked that out yet. There was some discussion of possibly a rotating that the fellow who's now the boss of Atrium gets to be the president, and Dean Roper gets to be the chairman of the board, and then they switch. And so
well, that sounds like the worst of all worlds.
Well, you know, as I was going through making sure I was reading that correctly, I thought this sounds like the Bridge Club almost, which is fine to run the Bridge Club, but it's not really the best way to run a huge hospital system.
Yeah.
You know, and I think then there's a question of the UNC hospitals and the things that go with it, the medical school and the teaching programs that are inside of our state assets. Does UNC Healthcare have the ability to ally or merge them with another nonprofit organization? So I think there's still that question, and that's something that will be up to the Board of Governors and possibly the legislature. I think the other part of it is in many ways, and you'll know this is something near to my heart because Jim Long was involved in it, this reminds me in a lot of ways of the attempt to turn Blue Cross in the old, I don't know, 15 years ago, into a for-profit corporation. The people of North Carolina went nuts. And fortunately, people stepped back. There were a lot of hearings, people stepped back, that this is not a good idea. I don't think that wasn't a good idea then. I don't know that I think this is a good idea right now. Unfortunately, we have a virtual monopoly in the health insurance market in North Carolina because Blue Cross is so large. I don't know that matching that up with a virtual monopoly in the provider community is going to do anything to bring costs down and make the healthcare system more responsive.
Blue Cross says it won't. It says it'll go up.
Well, and you know, when you've got two groups that don't have to negotiate, the people in the western part of the state had no health care insurance for a while when Mission Hospital and Blue Cross couldn't come together on a deal. Fortunately, that's done. But, you know, when you're the only show in town practically, and then you've got two people, two organizations butting heads, it's not good for the public.
Is this similar to the merger mania that took place in the banking system many years ago, where we ended up with banks that were too big to fail?
Well, you know, I think that yes, because there's lots of money involved in this. You know, there has been a movement in healthcare for a long time to consolidate and economies of scale. Right now, Atrium, Carolinas, is laying people off to put more money aside. So it's always all about the money, Tom.
All right. Well, thank you for watching the Afterspin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.